Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, I'm not sure that this is going to be a long vlog, and like, I know I always say that, but I'm just not feeling great today. Alex actually didn't go to work today. He woke up and he just was feeling horrible this morning, and he feels better now. He slept and rested all day, and even like into this evening, he was like, I still don't feel well. I don't know what's going on. And we were kind of like, I wonder if we got sick on the plane last night. And I don't know, but I felt okay when I got up today. I got up and I like rolled over and he was still laying there, and I said, babe, did you not go to work today? And he was like, I woke up and I just felt like crap. And I said, oh, okay. And so I was like, do you need me to get you anything? You don't? He was like, no. He was like, I just want to sleep. He was just like, I just don't feel well. I feel, you know, just, ugh. And so I went and got coffee, and then I did a review video, and then I picked up the pups, and I hung out with, well, first I hung out with Tanya Jean for like 15 minutes, and just kind of like caught up and stuff, and then I got the pups and brought them home. They were so cute. Boo Radley came out. She was carrying like, one of the girls that works at the kennel was carrying Boo Radley out, and he just kind of like looked at me when he came out like, hi, Dad. He looked like he had just woken up, and he was kind of like, hi, Dad. It was so cute. Pee-Pee was running all around, and Tucker was running all around, and they were so excited. I let Pee-Pee out of the car when we got home, and he like was darting all around the yard and like running for the neighbor's mailbox, smelling it, making sure that everything was okay in the world of dogs, I guess. And it was so cute. And then I was like, do you guys want to go see your dad? And they like went crazy, and they like ran up the walkway. And so anyway, then we hung out with the pups for a while in bed and just kind of like talk to them. They like to like come when they get home from the kennel, they like to like rub their backs on the bed, and they're so cute. So we did that, and then Alex got really, really hungry. I was making some videos, and he was like, I'm really hungry, and I was like, okay, what do you want? And he was like, I really want pizza. I didn't really care what we had either way. So he got one of those dinner boxes or something from Pizza Hut, and we both got pizza and then breadsticks, and he got chicken fingers. I didn't even eat that much of my pizza. Like, that's how, like, at that point I started feeling kind of sick to my stomach. I just didn't feel good. And when I was over at Tanya's, I just kept on going like this, and she was like, are you okay? She's like, you don't look like you feel very well. And I said, I just don't feel very well today. I don't know what it is. And she like felt my forehead, and she's like, you're kind of running a little warm. I don't know if you're okay or not. And I was like, I don't feel warm. Like, I don't feel warm right now. So I got my videos done, and then I went and picked up the pizza because Alex called it in. So I went and picked it up, and it was right up the street. And then came back, and we ate the pizza while we watched The Real Housewives of Orange County, which was just, I feel like they're just always just so toxic and angry at each other. It's just, So we watched that, and then afterwards I told Alex, I said, I think I'm gonna lay down. I'm just like, I really wasn't feeling well. And he was like, okay, babe. He was like, are you sure you're okay? And I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna lay down. And I laid down, and I woke up like after an hour, and I was like real sweaty, and I had real weird dreams, which I'm sure is probably from eating or something. I'm getting a Diet Coke at McDonald's because I'm really thirsty. But I had real weird dreams. I don't even remember what they are, but so I like woke up, and right when I was waking up, Alex was coming upstairs with the dogs and getting ready to go to bed, and so they all were jumping on the bed and being crazy and stuff, and I laid there for a second and talked to him. I don't even remember falling back asleep. I fell right back asleep. I don't know if it was the traveling yesterday that maybe just wore us out or what, but we don't usually get like that though after we travel. open, I wonder? Do I have 2 nickels? I do. Hello?
Thank you for choosing McDonald's at this moment. We are currently closed for 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I literally come through here, like, and there's a car sitting there in the... Look, there's a car in the drive-thru picking up their food. Which I'm sure that doesn't mean anything, but I feel like it doesn't really matter what time I come through, that they're always, because I come through here at all different times, that they're always closed for a half an hour. The thing is, I would just go somewhere else, but if I do, like, drive through somewhere, it's going to be more expensive. Like a Coke somewhere else is more expensive. So I'm just going to backtrack and go to the other McDonald's that I was going to go to begin with. So yeah, that was kind of my day today. I did all the October bills, got all those done, and which is always so much fun, isn't it? To sit down there and do all the bills for the month. I will say this though, like, I always feel, I haven't talked about this in a while on here, like, I always feel so much better, like, when I get, like, all the bills done for the month. Like, I'm like, oh, now I can enjoy the rest of the month, you know, everything's paid and secure, like, we're good for another month, you know? I can remember, you know, that there was so much of my life that so I've always been, like, really, really weird about, like, keeping a list. I haven't talked about finances on here for a while, so do my little financial, like, advice that I do on here. I haven't done that in a while. But I always keep a notebook of, like, all my bills, all the money information, how much I'm going to need for the month, spending money, the budget, everything like that. And so it's a spiral notebook that I keep, and it's like that wide, and then it's the kind that has the spiral at the top. Do you know what I'm talking about? And so it'll say, like, October, and then underlined, and then it has a list of, like, every bill that I have to pay for October. And if there's something extra in there that I have to pay, like car insurance, because I don't pay my car insurance every month, I pay it every 6 months, then that'll go in there as well. So that, like, going into the month, I know exactly, like, what I have to pay. And then, like, typically 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the month, I'll go in and I'll add up how much everything is. So I know how much I need to have to pay off the bills. And then I will go in and I will, like, see how much money that I'm allowing myself per week for spending money. And then also, like, my, you know, my shopping fun one that I have in there too, that I put extra money into on the side. That's kind of like the money that rotates from month to month. And then I kind of figure out how much I'm going to need to have for that month going into it. And then if there was, like, extra at the end of the month, not from my fun account, but, like, from my spending account, of just, like, daily spending, things like that, groceries, food, whatever, then I put that back into saving. I put that into savings, not, you know. But anyway, that's how I budget the money out. But back in the day, I can remember, you know, I mean, social workers don't make the greatest money in the entire world. And my boyfriend and I struggled a lot, you know. And I remember, but you know what the thing was, is I never thought about that, because I loved what I was doing. We used to say, this girl that I used to work with, this woman that I used to work with, which is one of my really good friends, we used to joke that every day that we walked in, we were either underpaid or overpaid. There was never, like, an in-between, you know. It was either just, like, non-stop stuff going on, or it was like we were just sitting around talking. But I remember there being like I would do the same thing with my bills, but I wouldn't go in on like the first and second and pay them. I used to, like a year or two ago, I used to pay all of my bills like before the month even started. I just don't now out of laziness, but I can remember. So I still do this. This is funny that I still do this, even though I pay all my bills like the first of the month. But I put the date of when the bill is due like in front of it. So I'll list all of the bills, and then like I will put like the date that it's due next to it, if that makes sense. And the reason that I would do that was because I would have my bills, I would keep them. Like this was when we didn't have online bills, we had paper bills, and I think I was one of the very last people ever to transition over to online bills. I mean, I knew people that were doing it left and right, and I just was always like, I would write out the check, and what is going on with this thing? I would write out the check and I would mail it in, and I would have the envelope and the statement, you know, like I would have them all just like there in a row of what I had to pay, and then on the actual bill I would write like, you know, 10-2, and I would circle it when it was due, so that I knew, and I would have them in order, like the bills, like I would have them in order and on the page that I had written down, but also like literally in order, you know? And then I would take the next bill and I would write it. And I can remember sometimes like the electric bill or something would be due in 4 days, and I would look at my checking account and I would be like, okay, I get paid on Friday, it's due on Saturday. If I write this check, I'm gonna be like almost into the negative. Do I do it? And if you've ever lived like that, which I'm sure many of you have, when you don't live like that anymore, it makes you very, very grateful for the days that you did. But I think the other thing is that it also makes you realize a lot about living life, that, you know, like to be able to pay, I just was so grateful back then to be able to pay like an electric bill, you know, like today I think about that and it's like, I hope they're open. If they're not open, I'm not meant to have a Diet Coke tonight. Hello?
1 second, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
But you know, like I look back on that and I think, you know, and I'm talking about an electric bill that like, not a $300 one in February or January, but I'm talking about like a $79 one, right? Where I would really be like, if I write this $79 bill, like I'm gonna be $50 in the hole, or I'm gonna be $20 in the hole. Like, do I chance it? Do I risk it? You know, and I look at that and I'm just like, I can remember, you know, like when things started getting better and I was so grateful for being able to have the money to pay an electric bill, you know, like it really puts your life in perspective as far as what you need and what you want. That's why today, like, if there's something that I want, I don't begrudge myself it, but at the same time, like I really do take a look at like, what do I need, you know?
Okay, what is your order?
Can I get a large Diet Coke, please?
Okay.
That's it.
1 9-second window.
Okay, thank you. She thought that was funny. She thought that was funny. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I just remember what my dream was about. Thank you. Oh. Oh, there's a penny down there. Hope somebody gets a wish off of it. Thank you. Have a good one. yeah, it's weird when I look back on that, you know, and I think about how I looked at things, you know, and I can remember like really being afraid, you know, and being like, well, what am I gonna do? And, you know, there were times when every bill I paid was almost late, you know, and but I don't know. So like today when I sit down and I do the bills, I don't know if this will make sense, but it's almost like as I'm doing it, like as much as I dislike doing bills, right? I mean, who wants to just, I mean, we joke and say we're handing money over, but we're really not. We're paying for services, right? So as I'm sitting there doing bills, there's a sense of gratitude that comes over me. It's almost like it's an action, you know, that I'm like practicing gratitude while I'm paying the bills because I have the money today to pay it, you know? And, you know, it was when I was doing that book, it was interesting when I did that book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I haven't redone that book. I said I was going to redo it about 1.5 years ago, and I never redid it. I probably should do that. I think I'm in a really good place to do that right now. But October, I would like to read all, I'm hitting every red light. October, I want to read all like scary books, except for that I have to read My Friend Anna. And I just realized tonight that tomorrow is Thursday. The live stream is Sunday. And I have started maybe less than a half an hour. I don't know how far I've gotten in that book, but I have to listen to 8 hours of it, but I listen to books at 2 times speed, which means I have like between 4 and 5 hours of this book to listen to, which means I have to listen to about an hour to an hour and a half a day of this book to get it done by Sunday. But you know, like as I'm sitting there and I'm doing the bills, like there is this, and it's, you know what, it's really crazy. It's always the electric and the gas bill, because I think those are the two that I remember so specifically from back in the day that like, that were always the lowest, right? But I would like really, like they came at the end of the month and I'd be like, I wouldn't know if I had the money, you know? Oh, but what I was gonna say is, so there's like an action of gratitude that happens while I'm paying the bills. But you know, I remember when I did the Rhonda Byrne book, and there is a part in there where she talks about when you're writing bills that you and I did this for a long time, you guys, and it really did change my perspective. She said that, like, let's say if you, like, let's say you have a bill. She's talking about, somebody is texting me. She's talking about in the bigger concept of things, you know, like maybe like a school loan or something. But she's talking about all bills too, because she does say in there something about all bills, right? That when you're paying it, like when you're done paying it, I'm gonna have to pull over because I'm just like text. That you say in there, like you write on the top of it, you know, you say it out loud, I think, and then you write on top of that, thank you for giving me the money to pay this bill. And you actually write that on the bill. And I did that for a long time. Like if you saw my bill statements that I had, I mean, I don't get a lot of bill statements anymore in the mail because I do almost everything online. But like my bill statements would all, I don't even know if I do get, I think I get one bill in the mail, but all of my bill statements, you know, I would write on there, thank you for giving me the money to have, and you either speak it to the universe or higher power or whatever. And, oh my God. So, yeah, you know, like, today I look at that as like an action or as a process of gratitude and practicing that in my life, which is a huge turnaround from how I used to be. You know, I never was like that before. I'm literally getting off the same exit that I was. I went over, got on the exit, went to the McDonald's. I almost called it the Fountain Pop store. Went to the Fountain Pop store. They were closed for half an hour. Went back, got my Diet Coke, and now I'm back here again so I can read these text messages. They better be good. My text messages, let me just tell you, are always so exciting, okay? It's like this. Hey, on what page was the passage that you were talking about in the meeting tonight? It's like that, you guys. Those of us in recovery have real exciting conversations. No, I'm joking, but it is a lot of that too. Hey, you were talking about a meditation you read. What book is it, or something like that? I don't know why I needed to pull all the way into the Meijer to read these text messages, but apparently I did. I have nothing at the Meijer to buy. Tanya texted me while I was taking a nap, and she was like, I'm gonna go to Walmart, do you wanna go with me? And I slept straight through the message. I feel bad because I wanna give her her sweatshirt that I bought her too. Dream. Oh my God, more? Oh my God. Does it say 7 text messages? Oh my God. In like 2, I can't see what it says. Crazy Town. Isn't that a country music band, Crazy Town? I just downloaded all this country music. Do you guys want to know what I downloaded? 7 messages. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's from a sober friend of mine. Let me tell you what I just downloaded. Are you ready? Okay, so my brother-in-law is really into this band called the 1975, and I downloaded this song called Inside Your Mind. Then I downloaded, because Jessie had her car radio set to this country music station. I listened to bluegrass when I went to, on the way there, it was all like modern country music, but on the way back, it was like this bluegrass show they did. It was fantastic. And, they even, because it was Rosh Hashanah, they had a Jewish bluegrass band called Jewgrass. It's like some really famous like Jewish couple, and they do bluegrass, and they were amazing. It was like incredible. So, and they play in like synagogues and stuff too. They don't just play like in performance halls and whatever, or like I guess bluegrass bars or whatever. But anyway, I didn't download any of their stuff. But I got this one called Belly of the Beast by Mandolin Orange, and then Crying My Heart Out by Ricky Skaggs, and then When the Sun Goes Down by Kenny Chesney. And I also realized I did not have There Goes My Life, which is one of my all-time favorite Kenny Chesney songs, so I downloaded that as well. And I Don't Know About You by Chris Lane. So I downloaded all of that this week. All right, I will be back in just, well, I'm at 23 and a half minutes anyway, so I will be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. 7 text messages about the Addams Family cartoon movie coming out, including pictures. That was the text I needed to get in the middle of the night. We should go see this. Oh man. It's weird being back in Indiana. I will say I really, really miss the, I think it's weird that in Indianapolis, there's a store called Denver CBD, and, we don't have the cannabis shops here, so, you know, everybody's about the CBD in Indiana. The same people that will tell you that CBD is not the same thing, which, I mean, I know it's not, but it's just, that cracks me up for some reason, I don't know. The irony of it all. I really miss the sound of the ocean. I really, really miss that. I wanted to do a whole, I haven't been able to talk at all today. I have stumbled over my words in every video that I've done. I wanted to do an entire hotel review. But the thing was, I wanted to do it like after our room was clean each day, because I didn't do it like the first day that we walked in. So I wanted to do it like when the room was clean, so I could show like a clean room, not with our beds being a complete mess and our clothes everywhere and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I was gonna do that and then walk around and show the whole hotel and all this kind of stuff. So the hotel that we stayed at is called I seriously cannot speak tonight. The Pacific Terrace Hotel. And it was right off of Mission Boulevard in San Diego. It was right on, I don't know if they call that the boardwalk or whatever right there. It was so cute. The staff was absolutely incredible. I mean, they like, we would come up there and they like knew our names. Like they'd be like, oh, hi Peter, you know, or hey Alex, what can I do for you? I mean, they remembered our names the whole time. They were super friendly. When we walked in, I was kind of like, ooh, this is like a really small hotel. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna think about this. Like, you walk in and the lobby is like really small. They were very professional. The only thing that sucked, and it had nothing to do with them, I mean, it was all because of the time that we got there, was we are so lucky that typically when we check, like, typically when we fly somewhere, we like to get there early. Well, I hadn't slept the night before, which was my stupidity. I just have such a hard time sleeping before I go on a trip. I'm like a kid before Christmas. I can't do it. And so I literally, like, slept for 14 minutes. I mean, I said that, but I wasn't joking. Like, I really did. I looked at the clock and I was like, okay, I have to get up in 14 minutes and get ready. So I was fine, like, the first half of the trip, but by the time that we got there, I was, like, needing a nap. I was, like, exhausted. And so we get there to the hotel, and check-in is, I think, it was at 4, and we got to the hotel at, like, 10-something, and they were like, yeah, maybe it was 11, I don't remember, but anyway, they're like, yeah, we have nothing available to put you in yet. And they're like, we're really sorry. And they were so nice about it. But they were like, we're really sorry. You can use the pool. You can do this. Well, the thing was, is it wasn't super warm to, like, I mean, I wasn't going to want to lay out at the pool all day. It wasn't like that kind of temperature. You know what I mean? Although I will say that people did that. So, you know, we walked and we got brunch. That was the first time that we went to Breakfast Republic, which was a must if you ever go to San Diego. It was so fantastic. And then we walked around, we walked down the pier and all this kind of stuff. The one thing that I'm really sad that we didn't do during the trip, and I think, like, if Alex hadn't had the music festival, we would have done it, was we wanted to either rent roller skates or bikes one day and go up and down the pier or up and down the boardwalk. Like, we talked about that. In our hotel, you could get chairs for the beach for free. I think they had an umbrella for the beach that was free, umbrellas. I think I know they had bikes because people were getting bikes. I don't know if they had roller skates, but I'm sure they did. They had, like, this closet where they had all this stuff that you could, like, rent out for free. Like, the guy would take you out there and get whatever you wanted. They had a whole list of stuff. It was like 10 or 20 things on this list that you could, like, you know, you didn't rent them. They just came along with your price of the room. And it was so perfectly located, this hotel. It was, like, literally perfect walking distance for everything. Everything was, like, 2 or 3 blocks. And, so I kind of was like, I don't know, when I walked in, I was like, I wanted something kind of a little, you know, I don't know, nice, something a little different. I was excited for a little getaway. And not that there's, you know, it's not nice, so Holiday Inn or something, like, those are completely fine hotels, but I was kind of like wanting something a little bit more boutique-y than that. And on the website, it looked a little bit more boutique-y than that. And so we went down, and at the end, because by that point, Alex's phone was dying, and I literally could not keep my eyes open. I mean, I was exhausted. And so we, like, sat, like, when you walked through this, they had this little restaurant, which was so cute because the last night that we were there was, like, these 2 women that were eating dinner in there. It was just, like, this little small restaurant. It was really cute. They had breakfast every day. But I will tell you, this waitress that worked poolside, she hustled her butt the entire time. Like, I have never, in all of my experience, okay, well, maybe with the exception of Mexico, like, they were on it in Mexico. But I have never had poolside service like this waitress that worked there. I mean, she literally was on fire. I mean, you'd be like having a Diet Coke in your hand, and she was like, do you want something else? I mean, she was like that ready. So, we sat out there. We didn't sit, so, like, outside of the little pool area, the pool area was, like, all enclosed by, like, this plastic plexiglass. And I think it was because it gets really windy and the sand from the beach and stuff like that. But the pool was gorgeous, and it had, like, really thick wrought iron furniture. And then they had, like, these cabanas. It was a gorgeous pool area. It was small, but it was beautiful. The pool was really warm. I got in the pool a lot, and it was pretty warm. Alex didn't get into it, but he doesn't really get in. He doesn't love to swim, like, unless he's, like, burning up, you know? And so we sat outside around the edge of that because he was charging his phone. And then they finally called and said our room was ready. First of all, the balcony was huge. The room was so comfortable. The beds were incredible. The bathroom, which I didn't show you guys, was really huge. It was like it was a pretty basic bathroom, but it was really, really nice and had like a granite countertop. I just was super impressed with the hotel. Everything they asked us, you know, like I went down there and I asked the concierge about what casino I should go to, and they were all like, oh, there was like 3 of them standing up there, and they were like, oh, Barona, the drive is beautiful, it's the easiest for you, you won't get lost, the casino is great, the buffet is fantastic. They just were all really, really nice. At 4 p.m. every day, they put out like 4 different kinds of warm cookies with lemonade, you guys. So cute. They have fresh fruit all the time, fresh newspapers, which a lot of this stuff is kind of like, I know is like goes along with hotels. But it felt to me like they really paid attention to detail. The hotel was not super, super expensive. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was cheap by any means, but like when I checked in, I said to him, he was like, is there any specific kind of like what you want? Since you guys are here so early, I'll try to see if we can meet your needs. And Alex was like, we just want a really good view. And I was like, yeah, if we can have something with a good view. And he looked at me and he goes, well, there's not really a bad view in the hotel. And you know, when people tell you that, you're like, yeah, right, hardy har har, right? Like, I'm sure there's one that's facing back that way. There wasn't. Like every hotel room literally faced like how we were facing. But it was all kind of at an angle, you know? But all of the rooms were like ocean view right in front, fantastic. And our room, which was literally like 10 feet from the beach with a sidewalk in between, was considered ocean view. That wasn't even considered ocean front. I don't know what ocean front would have been. Like, I really don't. Or maybe they moved us into that and that was oceanfront. But yeah, I was so impressed with it. I told Alex leaving there, I said I would definitely come back and stay at this hotel. The staff were absolutely incredible. They just were some of the friendliest hotel staff. Like, hotel staff can like make it or break it for me. You know, we love the Victor in Miami. I don't know that we're going to stay there in the future again. We've stayed there so many times. It's kind of sad because that was kind of our hotel, the Hotel Victor right there on Ocean Drive. That was kind of our hotel. You know, that was like the first place in Miami that we ever stayed. We've stayed there ever since. We love it. It has a special meaning to us. But the service over time has really gone downhill. Like, it just has not been as great. And there's this one guy that works around the pool, and he is fantastic. And it was funny because when we were there last time with Melissa and Jason, I was talking to him, and he's like 23, 24 maybe, and he had been there like every time that we had come, like the last 2 years. And I said, you're always here? And he's like, yeah, I'm in college, I'm finishing up college. And he goes, this will probably be the last time that you guys see me here. And I go, really? He's like, yeah, I graduate in May, and then I'm gonna, you know, like I won't be working here anymore and whatever. And I was like, that's really sad. I said, because you're a real asset to this hotel. I said, you know, you remember people and you make people, you know, I mean, he was fantastic. And but the rest of it, like, I don't know, I just wasn't, there's something that's kind of like, isn't it sad, like, when there's a place that you love, whether it's a restaurant or a hotel or whatever, and you've gone to it for a long time, and it has a special place in your heart, and then all of a sudden it kind of goes, like, it just isn't the same experience as you once had. I don't know, it just makes me kind of sad. Plus, I think it would be smart of like small restaurants and boutique hotels, when you've had a couple that have been there 10 times, to maybe remember that you've been there. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think that might be nice. You know, welcome back. You know, it's really good to see you guys again. That's all it would take. You know, it doesn't have to be some huge thing, but who am I to say? Just a reviewer. I'm just a reviewer. But I would highly, highly recommend, if you go to San Diego, the Pacific Terrace Hotel. I will tell you that the crowd, now, and this is during a music festival, okay? The crowd was a little older. It is definitely a quiet hotel. It is not a loud hotel by any means. Although there was a mom and dad and their like teenage daughter that were by the pool, and the dad was playing the Red Hot Chili Peppers on his stereo speaker that everybody was singing to as they laid there by the pool. That was one day. But other than that, and it was real cute. Like, they had this like chest outside, like this white chest, and all the towels were in there. The hotel kind of reminded me something that you would see a little like on the East Coast, maybe, kind of. I don't know. I was really impressed with it. There were a couple hotels along the way there that I thought were really cute. There was another one that was called like something 23 or whatever. It didn't really have a pool though, but it was very modern. So yeah, if you're looking for a hotel in San Diego in that area, I would definitely suggest that. But if you do it, like, make sure and you've never done it before, get the roller skates, do the bikes. Like, I wish we had done that. Like, that would have been really fun. And when we were leaving, Fufu said, he was like, there was so much of San Diego that we didn't get to show you. And he was like, there was so much I wanted to show you, like North something and something else. And the downtown area and the Gaslight District. They actually went to an after party after the second night of the music festival in the Gaslight District. I didn't get to go, so, well, I could have, I just didn't want to go. So I told Fufu, I said, listen, we're going to come back out. This isn't going to be the last time that we come out here. You know, we're really trying to figure out something to do for New Year's. Like after either the week of New Year's or like the second or third week in January. But I really want to go somewhere warm, but the problem is it's so expensive to go somewhere during that time. So I was thinking we might go back to San Diego and see if Jesse and Fufu want to do something for New Year's, you know? Just go out there for 3 or 4 days. I don't know, we'll see. New Year's is kind of that one holiday that I don't really care what we do, in all honesty. Like, I mean, it's such, like, no offense to anybody, but like, it's such amateur hour to me, because it's like, people get really wasted drunk, and people get really drunk early. So like, if I go out and let's say around 1 o'clock in the morning, people start getting drunk to the point where I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. I don't really want to have to deal with this. Usually on New Year's, people are getting drunk at like 10:30, 11. And I just don't love that. We usually do something with Melissa and Jason and Aaron and Eric for New Year's. And we always have a good time. We do this big party downtown and stuff like that. But like, it's the same thing every year. And Alex and I have said for like the last 2 or 3 years, we're doing something different for New Year's. We're not doing this next year. Like, we're gonna go out of town, I've always thought it would be fun to like rent a house in Gatlinburg, but our friends are the ones that throw this huge party downtown, so it's kind of like we stay around to support them. But they wouldn't care if we went out of town. But it's like, okay, their 3 closest couples, friends, are gonna go out of town when they're, I mean, it's not them throwing a party, but it's like this business that they own throwing a party, And, so it's like we can't get everybody to go and get a cabin in Gatlinburg for New Year's. That would be ideal to me. I know Alex wants to go out to some kind of club always on New Year's, whatever, which I'm fine with that. But can we do it in Las Vegas? Can we do it in San Diego? Can we do it somewhere else other than Indianapolis? Like, I just get so bored of it. The only thing in Indianapolis that's good for me is that when the party's over, if Alex wants to go out, he can go out. And he can take an Uber home, and then I'm done for the night. Like, and that's fine for me, because the party usually always ends between, like, any big party always ends like 12:30 to 1. And I'm talking about more of these kind of like corporate parties that we go to. They always kind of end around 12:30 or 1, and then he'll want to go out for like another hour or 2 with like his girlfriends, and then he, comes home and, we usually eat food or something like that. I'm like, that is fine. You go do that. And then I can go. I think I did that last year when I was vlogging on the way home and stuff like that. It's just, I I actually don't even remember. But, or did he come home after the party last year? I don't remember. I think we stayed at that party pretty late. But that's the only thing about being in Indianapolis. You know, whenever I get my dogs to, like, today, like, I just don't like being away from them. Tanya said that PB did not cough, like, almost the entire time that he was there, and then he came home and he was completely fine. But I think that he, like, got himself so out of sorts because he was rolling on his back for, like, ever, and then he's, like, running around the house, running around the yard, getting himself all worked up, and then he started coughing. He had this huge coughing fit, and then he just sat next to him. It was so sweet, because when I started setting up the video stuff, he, like, jumped up on the chair, and he was, like, ready to make videos. Like, we were right back to normal. It was so cute. And, they are, all three of those dogs, literally passed out in bed right now with Alex. Like, they are out to town. They are so asleep right now. Like, usually when I get up to go vlog and I walk out, they all three of them, like, follow me, and then I have to take them out and stuff like that. Boo Radley, like, looked his head up just a little bit. And Tucker, who never sleeps underneath the blankets, he always sleeps on top of them because I think it gets too hot. He was sleeping underneath the blankets. I couldn't even see him. And I, like, lifted up the blanket, and he was there, and he kind of lifted his head up and looked at me. I was like, they are exhausted. They must have ran and ran and ran this week. It's good for them. They smell so good. They got baths and stuff. And they're so happy to be home. But, like, that's it. You know, like, I miss my dogs, right? And so it's like, do I really care about going out of town for New Year's? Or would I rather be at home and then we spend New Year's Day with the dogs, you know, and our family? Like, that's important to me, too. So, I don't know. I think as far as going, what is going on here? I just got forced off the interstate, you guys. I think it goes back on up there. As far as, like, going somewhere, I think I'm just going to keep my eye open and see if anything, opens up, like, that isn't super expensive. Then maybe we'll take a look at that and go. What? There's, like, literally nobody coming in, and this truck's not going anywhere. This semi. Trucks, enter exit highway. I don't really know what you're supposed to do here. I guess I could just turn around and go back, since that's what I was going to do anyway. He's going forward, so I will go forward. And if I see, like, you know, a super good deal for a vacation, then book it. If not, then just save it. Although now I don't know if I've talked about this on here. I don't think I have. I don't know if I'm going to go to EDC now. So this was supposed to be, like, this huge family trip, right? That, like, Alex and I, Jesse and Fufu and Maya, we were all going to go to EDC together. Well, Alex told me, so Alex bought 2 tickets, one for me and one for him. EDC is now sold out. Okay. So he bought the tickets because Fufu texted him and said, buy your EDC tickets. Now, if it were up to me, I would pick EDC or Ultra. I wouldn't do both. It's 2 expensive trips very close to each other. Ultra is at the end of March, and Electric Daisy Carnival is in May in Las Vegas. It's an expensive trip because it's expensive to stay out there during that week. It's, like, almost impossible to get anything. Even I've looked up the Airbnbs, they're expensive and stuff like that. But Alex was, like, really wanting to do this. He was really excited. He was like, this is going to be the first music festival that we're all going to go to as a family. And I was like, okay, that'll be great, whatever. So I was, like, getting ready because one night I was like looking online at stuff and I saw some really cheap rates and I was like, do you want me to book this now? And he was like, no, why don't you wait and see what Jesse and Fufu say, because I really want to see what they're gonna do, and like, you know, if they want to get a house, because we were thinking about all of us getting a house together possibly. He was like, or if, you know, like they're gonna stay with Maya or whatever, because Fufu had said something about staying with Maya, but Maya's place is not that big. So we're sitting there out there and I said, so what are you guys doing for EDC? And Jesse was like, huh? And I was like, what are you doing for EDC? And she goes, well, I'm not going. She was like, Juan's going, but I'm not going. And I go, you're not going to EDC? And Alex was like, yeah, you're not going to EDC? And she was like, no. She was like, I didn't, why? Have we talked about all going? And Alex was like, Fufu, you said that we were all going, this was a family thing. And he goes, well, I had mentioned it to Jessie and she didn't act like she really wanted to go that bad. Jessie's like me, like she could take it or leave it, right? And she's like, yeah, she was like, I mean, life is, because they just went to Life is Beautiful in Las Vegas. And she was like, Life is Beautiful is my first, what do you call it, music festival. And she said, so when the EDC tickets went on sale, I didn't really know that I would want to go or not for 3 days. And so I was like, well, they're sold out now. And she was like, that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. You guys just all go and have a good time. Well, I like looked at Alex and I go, well, I'm not really sure that I want to be, you know, the old man hanging out at this like Ultra's different. There's a lot of people my age there, but I don't think that EDC really is. And it's like, I don't know that I can stand on my feet for 10 hours a day, in all honesty, right? I don't know that I want to stand on my feet for the whole time. So I was like, you know, I don't know, maybe this is a trip that you guys need to do or whatever. And I said, Jesse, would you want to go to Las Vegas and maybe go to EDC like one day if we could get you a day pass? And then like you and I could like hang out the rest of the time. We'll each go. I was talking and I didn't even realize I had stopped recording. It was at the 23.5-minute mark. So I had to pull in here and I had to like go and watch like the last minute because I didn't even know what I was talking about. And I actually had talked for quite a bit longer. So anyway, I had said to Jesse something to the effect of, you know, would you want to go and we could get a day pass for you? And then, because there will be day passes available, you know, and then you and I can just hang out the rest of the time, like go out to eat, you know, maybe see a show or whatever. And she's like, yeah, sure, let me think about it. But I have a feeling she probably won't end up wanting to do that. Plus, they have a dog, so that they like don't board their dog, like a friend takes care of. So if she's gonna stay home with the dog, I think it'd probably be easier. I just didn't get the feeling that she really wanted to go that bad. And I'm like, okay, so now I gotta figure out what I wanna do, you know? I don't know, I really like, I love Vegas, so I don't have a problem going to Vegas, and even if they go to EDC for 3 days, you know, hanging out by myself and laying out by the pool and taking naps and, you know, gambling and all that kind of stuff, I would have no problem doing that. But I think, like, I don't know that I want to do it for 5 days. Like, that's a long trip, you know, because we would get there the day before and we would leave the day, like, after, like have a day before and have a day after and then leave. So it would be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wait, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leave Tuesday. Well, that's an expensive trip to Las Vegas. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, we could go to Aruba or something like that. And I'm like, I don't. So we're going to have to talk about that and figure out what we're going to do. I don't know. You know, and if I don't go, the reality is Alex would only have to pay for airfare because then he could stay with Maya. Like, Maya's place is small, but if it's just going to be like, and I, in all honesty, I like to have a hotel room. Like, you know, unless I'm going to have, like, I don't want to just sleep on mattresses on the floor for 5 nights. Like, and she lives way off strip, so then I'm kind of just stuck there with nothing to do, right? But if it's just he and Fufu, then they can just, you know, stay with Maya. And then all he has to do is, you know, pay for airfare. So it really isn't that expensive. I have to say, like, the number one thing that's really keeping me from wanting to go to EDC, I know this is horrible, is that night that I was, like, coming back. It was when Alex went to meet Maya out for Cascade, I think. We had just gone to see some show. I think it was Zumanity. And I was coming back, and my Uber driver was, like, talking about EDC, and she was like, yeah, I drove to EDC last year, and she was like, it was like 4 hours there and 4 hours back, and she was like, the rides were like a minimum of like $175 each way, and I was just like, 4 hours in an Uber? Like, I don't know, you know, like, and I've heard those kind of stories left and right. I just don't know that I care that much. I just really don't, you know, and I'm kind of particular about how I spend my time as I get older, and I don't know that I want to spend 4 hours of it in an Uber. I just don't care that much, you know, to go to anything. I mean, I don't know. If you told me I had to wait 4 hours in line in an Uber to go see front row seats of Stevie Nicks, I don't know that I would care. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's horrible. I should get more excited about stuff, but like, I've kind of like seen everybody and done everything that not everything in the world that I've wanted to do. I mean, traveling wise, there's a lot that I want to do, places that I want to see, all that kind of stuff. But as far as like I think about this a lot. Like, who would be a musical act that like I would like move heaven and earth to go see? Because, you know, like Melissa loves Lady Gaga. Like, she wants to do the meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. You know, Alex loves the music festivals and meeting the DJs. I don't really have that anymore. You know, I've seen so many of my favorites through the years. I mean, like, the people that I haven't seen, like, I can't even think, you know? Or, like, I saw them so long ago that, like, but it doesn't really, I wouldn't just be, like, faint a million faints if I saw them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like that about a lot of people. I really don't. The semi is just parked up here in the middle of the road. What is he doing? He's like outside of his... Look at this. He's like literally in the middle of the road, and he's like out with a flashlight. Do you see this? What is he doing? And I'm out here in the middle of this country road. Well, I'm not doing that. Candy bag. So I don't know. We'll see. I also don't like to schedule or take trips that we can't have the entire trip paid off before we like leave Indianapolis, because I like to go on trips and not have to worry about any of that money stuff. You know what I mean? Which is something I didn't used to do, but trips got me into a lot of debt back in the day, and I'm just not doing that anymore. If I don't have the money, I don't need to be going on the trip, is how I feel. That's really how I feel about a lot of things in life. If I don't have the money for it, I shouldn't be doing it or buying it or anyway, you know? Well, listen, you guys, I think I'm going to get off here now and listen to my audiobook for a little bit, because I have to listen to an hour and 20 minutes of it tonight. I hope it gets real good. I hope I get real excited about it, because I need to get into it. So I'm going to listen to My Friend Anna now. And I hope you guys are... Oh, also, if you want to do a fun readathon this month, Books and Lala is doing Spookathon. She's just doing it herself this year. Her announcement video kind of made me a little sad. I don't know why. It was like she just, I don't know, it just made me kind of sad. BookTube's changed a lot since I've been on it, you know, in 3.5 years, and I don't even post as regularly as I used to over there, because I just don't even know what to talk about sometimes. But maybe in October I'll make it my goal to start posting on a regular basis, a daily basis. But anyway, so if you want to do a readathon, it's, I think, the 14th through the, I don't know, 21st or something like that. I will be participating in Spookathon this year. So go check it out. It's on Books and Lala, her channel. Tell her I sent you. I love Lala so much. And anyway, yeah, there's 5 challenges, and they all have to do with reading thrillers. So if you like to read thrillers, you should definitely do it. Mel, you know, I'm going to make you do this. I'm not gonna make you, but I highly suggest that you do it. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Live it to the fullest. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Do something today that you will remember for the rest of your life. And yeah, take a risk. Do something really enjoyable today. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you tell yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important. Make sure that you do daily affirmations, positive affirmations about yourself and the day ahead. Today is going to be a great day full of opportunities and good opportunities. And most importantly, make sure that you pass on to somebody else how much they mean to you and how important they are to you in your life. It's important that we pass on a little love and kindness every single day. There are a lot of people out there that might not ever hear it if they don't hear it from us. So let's pass it on. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya. Love ya. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Tonight? Well, I did it again. I slept straight through the night. It is currently 6:08 a.m. on Saturday, so this is Friday's vlog. But I feel really rested, so the reason why it's a problem is not so much that I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and filming my vlog, which I'm sure is strange to a lot of people, but it's not strange to me. Actually, I saw my neighbor yesterday, my new neighbor that moved in. She was like, you have kind of crazy hours. And I said, yeah. And she knew that I like make videos for YouTube. And I was explaining to her what I do. And I said, you know, sometimes I like to go to sleep with Alex. And so like I'll go to sleep with Alex and then I'll wake up and be like, oh my God, I forgot, you know, I still have to go vlog. And I'll go outside and I'll vlog and whatever. And she was like, that's so much fun that you get to do that. And I was like, yeah, I love it, you know? So anyway, it wouldn't really be a problem today because I would go back home and maybe go back to sleep for a couple hours, although I'm weirdly like awake. And I think the reason is because I literally got 7+ hours of sleep. I slept straight through the night. I mean, I was out. I remember like Alex and he like put his hand across my chest and we were like talking about today or Saturday, and I turned like, and I was like, good night, babe, love you. And I like turned over and I was out. Like I don't remember anything after that. And he was on his phone when I told him good night. So it is cold in Indianapolis. It is 30 degrees. Oh, but the reason why like it usually wouldn't matter, but today it does, is because today is Carlitos' birthday party, which is at 2 p.m. And I'm meeting Alex there because he has like work stuff he has to do today. And then I got some water before I left. I was so thirsty for water. You know, and of course I want to make videos and stuff. So we've got to figure out a time to do that because we're apparently going to his birthday party at 2 o'clock. I'm sure that will probably go 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we're supposed to go back over to Carlos and Liliana's for like, to hang out and do like birthday cake or something over there. So it'll end up being this very long deal. Well, I also have my audiobook that I have to listen to. And so my plan had been to really drive around tonight, Saturday night, and listen to like 4 hours of it. That had been my plan, to listen to 4 hours on Saturday night and 4 hours on Friday night, sorry, and 4 hours on Saturday night, and then have the whole thing done. I know there are some people that are like so confused right now, like what day it is and whatever, watching this. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's like Janis Joplin said, it's all the same effing day, man. But you know, like, I was gonna listen to 4 hours on Friday night. I was gonna get my vlog done early, and then, because that's why I laid down at like 10:30, and something like that. And I was gonna lay down from 10:30 to like 11:30, I think is when I set my alarm. And then get up, and I was gonna vlog from like 11:30 to 12:30, and then I was going to listen to my audiobook till like 4:30 in the morning. And then tonight, I was gonna listen to like another 4 hours throughout the day, and then I'd have the book done. Well, now I've screwed myself because it is the day before the live stream. We may have to move the live stream. I just don't know how I'm possibly gonna get this book done in 24 hours. I don't know, I need to talk to Mel about it today. I mean, it's not like it's a huge ordeal. There's only like 30 people that come to the live stream, which is great, you know. I mean, I've never in a million years thought I'd ever have a book club that had that, you know, 30 to 50 people that attend. Here's my coffee lip balm. There's like 2,000 people that are active, like, well, 2,000 people in the book club. And of course, not everybody reads the book every month, but there's quite a few people that read the book that just don't come to the live stream. I would do the live streams on YouTube since I figured that out. But last time we guested a bunch of people. That water tastes so good. But last time we guested a bunch of people, and I want to be able to do that again, and you cannot do that on YouTube Live anymore. Plus, I can kind of like moderate what's going on a little bit easier. The fact that it's smaller, I don't know, keeps it just a little bit nicer. So, because it doesn't go so fast, you know. So that's supposed to be on Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm gonna have to talk to her today and see what we're gonna do. I don't want to go into it just not having finished the book. I like the book. I just don't know that there's any way that I can possibly get it done. That means I have to listen to 9 hours in 24 hours. I just don't know that there's any possible way that I can get that done. So anyway, but I had kind of planned that on Saturday I wasn't sure that I was going to make videos anyway because of Carlitos' birthday party, and I just kind of wanted to be with family and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just take the day. But on Friday, because I was so busy, I had like all this sobriety stuff to do on Friday. I was like, I had like this commitment in the early evening, and then I was had to meet with a friend of mine in the afternoon. I was like, well, maybe, but I ended up making videos on Friday. So, okay, what did I do? I got up, and like I said, this vlog, did I say this already? This vlog is not going to be super long. It just can't be, you guys, today, because I have too many things. I'm on my way currently, well, I'm in the direction of, whenever I finish vlogging, I'll probably go in there and do it. I'm in the direction of going to get Carlitos' birthday present. Alex already got him something. He got him a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. Apparently when he was at Target. So Alex got off work yesterday and he went over and picked up Sarah, and then they went to Target and he bought Carlitos' birthday present. He was gonna get it from both of us, but I was like, no, I wanna get him something too. So when he was there, he FaceTimed Carlitos and like was showing him stuff, and I was like, well, that makes it real exciting for the kids. So he got him like the Spider-Man stuff. He really wants a remote control car, so I think I'm gonna get him a remote control car is what I'm gonna do. People are up and early at Denny's this morning. So yeah, that's the direction I'm going in. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So this is gonna have to be a short vlog today. I got up on Friday and I'm trying to think of what I did. Oh, like I got up and I took the dogs out, gave PP his medication, and then I had to like leave and get out of the house because I had to go meet up with my friend. And So I went and met up with my friend for coffee. And then I had a bunch of errands to run after that. My day seemed to go so quick because I didn't leave there until like 3, and then I had to be at this recovery commitment thing at 5, and so it was like my day went super fast. I came home in between and I filmed. Did I do it afterwards or before? No, I did it afterwards. So like I'm just saying it was like an hour long. It's like an hour and a half long. And then I got home about 6:45 and I filmed a video for my Peter Mon channel, and then I filmed a video for my Peterisms channel, and I wanted to do a review video, but I didn't get to it. And not enough hours in the day. That's how I feel. I was thinking about this yesterday because I announced my book and my Peterisms channel so I'm going to start doing this like every month on my Peterisms channel. I'm going to read a book. There's going to be like, it's like kind of like a read along, not necessarily like a book club, but like a read along, self-help or motivational book. And so for November, I'm reading The 4 Agreements, and by Don Miguel Ruiz. I've never read it before. I heard it was fantastic. And but I was thinking about like how in my life I've had people like criticize me and be like, you're always starting things, you're always like new ideas, and you sometimes like don't like your ideas never come to fruition, but a lot of times they do. A lot of my ideas that I've started, like a book club or like a vlog or whatever, have taken on a life of their own, or YouTube. When I started doing YouTube on BookTube, that was like when I was committed to like posting regularly. I never thought, and I never in a million years thought that it would turn into this, where it literally became my life. I just really had no idea. And that was just 3.5 years ago. So it's crazy how, much your life can change in such a short amount of time. I posted this picture yesterday on my Instagram, and I was like, can't wait to be back. It was like from Miami, and I was like, can't wait to be back in Miami, or be back in Miami next week or something. Will be our second home, hopefully very soon or something. Oh my God, I got so many people from like my personal life that called me and was like, are you moving? Did you not tell us something? Blah, 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 whatever. Like Melissa texted me and she was like, are you moving to Miami? What's going on? I was like, Melissa, we were just at your house last night. Don't you think we would have told you? And, but we have kind of been on the down low looking at houses, and it's been very exciting. We have some areas picked. And we kind of did anyway, that we, like, areas that we were looking at. I would love to be right in South Beach, but that's just not realistic. It's just too expensive. And as much as I like that Brickell area, which is one of the areas that we looked at, I just don't know that we can afford that. Like, I just think, I just don't want to be house poor, for a second home, that we're not going to be in all the time. And it's not really in an area that you could Airbnb it. You could, but I don't know that. I don't know. And that's not really what I want to do with a place anyway. Like, if I have my own second place, like, I want to have my own second place that I can go to whenever I want. But, so anyway, yeah, I don't don't think I really want to say a whole lot more about that right now. But we are seriously starting to look at some places. The other thing is that we would never move completely from Indianapolis. We would go back and forth. PP had a great day today. He was weird. I don't know if maybe it's the weather and now he's used to it or what, but he woke up today and what is this sandwich called? It says, is it called a Pilgrim? And it's like all turkey. The Pilgrim it is. And it's like, oh, a Thanksgiving feast in every bite, and it's cranberry sauce and turkey and at the Get Go gas station. They should sponsor my channel, the Get Go, for me sending people to go eat their Thanksgiving feast sandwich. See, that's like something that sounds good if I wasn't a vegetarian. But like turkey almost sounds worse to me though than a cheeseburger, in all honesty. PB did great today. I think he coughed like once the entire day, and he was super active and he was running around in the backyard. I don't know if maybe he's just, now it's 34 degrees, that's so weird. Maybe he is just used to the weather. I think what happened was the night before I had felt bad for him because he just seemed so hungry, and he doesn't like that food. So I gave him like a huge plate of Boo and Tucker's food, and he literally ate it down in like 2 seconds. And I think it just made him sick. I think like he was like his little stomach couldn't handle it, and I thought I was doing something right, you know. He just hates that food that he eats. Like, he hates it. Like, tonight we put it down, and he wouldn't eat it. And you know what was so funny was, I stood in the kitchen finally, and I was like, PB, I was like, that food is perfectly fine. You need to eat your food, PB. And he looked up at me, and then he started eating the food. When I stood right there, he ate it. Like, ate it. And, like, not like just nibbled around it, but like he ate it. But then he did that for like 5 minutes, and then he looked up at me and he like walked away, and like half the plate was left. I was like, damn it, baby. You know, and our vet had always said, she said, I would rather have a lean dog with heart disease than a heavy dog with heart disease. So, you know, she's always happy with his weight, but I don't want him to get thin. Like, I don't want him, you know. And PP's never been heavy, and he's never been super thin. So, but he's doing much better today. He was running around the backyard and chasing his brothers, and then I had to, like, he's so funny. At one point, like, Boo and Tucker came inside, and I was like, PP. I was like, come on, PP, let's go inside. Let's have treats. And he just, like, looked at me. And so I, like, walked inside, and I was, like, doing some other stuff, and I came back out there, because, like, he just walked around the backyard, and I go, PP, I go, come on, we gotta have treats, let's go. And he just, like, stopped and looked at me, and then he kept on, like, sniffing the grass. So I let him keep on walking around. I went back out there like 3 or 4 minutes later. And I go, PP, I go, you better come on. And he just stopped and looked at me, and I go, okay, I guess no treats then. And he came like running inside. It was so funny. It's so weird, you know, like Alex said to me yesterday, he said, I'm starting to worry that maybe PP is starting to wind down. You know, that they, because like a lot of what we've read, I need to stay off those articles, but like, my vet always tells me that. She's like, every situation is completely different. Do not read articles about that stuff. But, you know, they'll say, oh, dogs with heart disease start to wind down, and they get real lethargic at the end, and they lose their appetite. You know, it's like, so I pick, you know, and choose symptoms that PP has and put them all together and basically say, well, it's over, you know. And then I get real worried and real stressed out. And so Alex was like, yesterday, he was like, because PP just didn't seem himself at all. And he was like, I think maybe he's starting to wind down. And Alex got real upset. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. You know, I'm just not. I'm not ready for my life to change that drastically, I guess. And, I mean, we don't have any control, you know, over when pets go. I get so many, you know, comments in the comment sections from you guys. It just breaks my heart for you when you're like, oh, my, you know, I lost my dog today, or... I always feel so horrible for you guys, you know? And I mean, I know it's a part of of life, you know, but... So anyway, I was worried I was going to wake up and he was going to be 10 times worse than he had been on Thursday, but that wasn't the case. So he was 100% better, and I was very happy about it. And he's doing good this morning, because right before I left, I took them out, and he just leaped off the bed to go outside, and I took him outside, and then I gave him his morning medicine stuff, so... Anyway, I was singing that Donna song for Alex. I was like, oh, Donna. He was like, I was like, do you know that song? He was like, no. And, I'd actually downloaded it like a couple weeks ago, and so I have it like on my iPad, or what do you call it when it's in your phone? Just your iTunes? Is that what you call it? Just your iTunes? I was like, here, I'm gonna play it for you. He was not impressed, and I was standing up and I was like swaying it, and I was using it as like a microphone, and I had a girl and I was her name. But my favorite part of this song, what's my favorite part? Well, it's not till the very end. I didn't realize it till I was listening to the song. It's like the last 30 seconds. So then I was like, do you know Richie Valens? And he was like, didn't he die in a plane? And I go, is that all you know about Richie Valens? And he goes, well, what do you know? And I go, didn't you see the movie? And he goes, what movie? And then I couldn't remember what the movie was called, you guys, and I had to like look it up. And I couldn't remember it, and I looked up Richie Valens movies. Well, apparently, to my idiocy, Richie Valens was like in a ton of movies, like in the 50s or 60s or whatever, you know, like Elvis was. And so it pulled up all of those movies, and I was like, what was that? And then all of a sudden it pulled up Lou Diamond Phillips' picture, and I was like, yes, Lou Diamond Phillips, that's who it is. And it was La Bamba, and I had totally forgot that it was da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, la-la-la-la-la-la Bamba. So I said to Alex, this is truly what it is like living with me, just so you know. So for you 14 haters that dislike my video every day, this is what it would be like for you all the time. But anyway, I was like, do you know that movie? And he was like, what movie? And I was like, la 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 Bamba. I know I missed or added a few laws in there. But anyway, I hope I got one of my haters to at least smile just a little bit, because y'all are so bitter. But anyway, better! He said, of course I know that movie. I go, well, you don't know Donna. He goes, well, who's Donna? And I go, Donna was his girlfriend in the movie. He goes, he died in a plane accident. I go, I know he died in a plane accident, Alex, but he had a girlfriend, her name was Donna, and he wrote a song for her. Was she his wife or something? I can see her in the movie. Whatever happened to Lou Diamond Phillips? So Alex and I tonight, I got done with my videos. He came home. I did not start my diet today. I'm sure it's a real surprise to people, and I'm real let down over it. But anyway, I was like, well, maybe Monday. Anyway, maybe Monday in June. I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it? So anyway, I got food, not healthy food either. I got Burger King. And so anyway, and sat there and ate, and he had all this chili, and we watched both episodes, the last 2 episodes of American Horror Story that we hadn't watched. It's so still on I was at the end and didn't even know it. It's so still on the lake this morning. But we watched both episodes of American Horror Story that we hadn't seen. And, yeah, it was good. I might have gotten Burger King and a Crunchwrap Supreme. A black bean Crunchwrap Supreme. And my husband might have had several bowls of chili and 2 cookies from Melissa's. Look, it was Friday night. Anyway. So, yeah, so we watched American Horror Story. I'm trying to think what the episodes were. They were good. It just doesn't seem very cohesive to me this season. I'll have to say, this is one of the seasons, American Horror Story. It's called 1984 if you're not watching it. And it's basically like modeled after like 80s horror movie, of which you know I love. And like I was really excited about it when it started, and I'm not excited about it now. Like it's okay. Like I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy having a show together that Alex and I watch. He really doesn't like the season, and but I'm just not that excited about it. I just don't think it's that good. I find myself talking about other stuff. Like we were sitting there, we both love Billie Lourdes, I think is her name. And so he was like, he said something about her tonight. And I said, I love her. I said, she's fantastic. She was in Scream Queens too. And he was like, she just came out of nowhere. And I said, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he goes, what? And I go, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he said, we have this argument every time, he forgets who she is. And he goes, from doing Scream Queens in this show, no she's not. And I go, her mother was Carrie Fisher, and her grandma was Debbie Reynolds. I don't know why I can always never remember it's Debbie Reynolds. And I said, I think she and her brother split the inheritance or something like that. Or she and Carrie Fisher's brother split the inheritance or something like that. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I go, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia from Star Wars. He's like, I know. He was so cute tonight. Alex had all the dogs around him. But then because all the dogs, Boo and Tucker were like right together. It was so cute. But because so he sits down and then he puts a blanket over his lap. And then the dogs like all sit on the blanket around him. But then he thinks that is a reason to have me go get him things. So he was like, I have some sprees in there. But he said they were sweet tarts. He was like, I have some sweet tarts in there. Can you get those for me? And I went in there. And I was like, you mean sprees? He was like, yeah, sprees. Can you get me my sprees? I was like, yeah, sure. Then he was like, can you get me another blanket? Like, is there anything else you want me to do? Because you can't get up. He's like, I have the dogs. He kept on going, I have the dogs. Oh, man. I met a girl. Oh, that's my favorite part where it goes, oh, Jana. But that's at the very end, in case you want to know. It's like literally in the last 30 seconds. We went to a friend's house the other night that's like up the street, and we came from the other way, like down here, coming this way, and I never go down there. Like, I always turn around in this church, which is like out in the middle of nowhere anyway. If you live in Indianapolis, I'm in Oak Landon right now, which I have no reason to drive to Oak Landon, right? It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, but it's like the backside of Geist, which is where I grew up. So if you go down here, there's like a gas station and like strip malls and stuff like that. So we came from that direction and we were going over here, and Alex goes, said something about where, he goes, oh, I know where we are now. He was like, you know, me and so-and-so used to go to lunch over here all the time because Alex used to do a bunch of work stuff over here. And I was like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden we passed this church and I was like, that's that church that I turn around in all the time. It's at 800. The street is 800. Like 800 North or something. I can't see what it says. 800 Northwest or something. And I thought it said Boo on it. I was like, oh my God, it's Boo Street. That's so hilarious. And all of the corn is gone out here. Whenever I tell Alex that, like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I vlog out here. And he'll be like, you vlog out here? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you come out all the way out here and vlog. And I'm like, yeah, where do you think I vlog? Around our neighborhood? Like 200 times or something? I just got the biggest craving for a Dr. Pepper. I don't even know why. Doesn't that sound so good though right now, Dr. Pepper? You're probably like, no. Why would you just randomly think of that? Because I do. It sounds delicious to me. I want to get a bunch of Christmas candles and Christmas stuff. I don't know when I want to put up the Christmas decorations this year. Well, really, it's just my little tree. But I might buy some other things this year and put it up too. But I don't want the house to be too cluttered. Although the other day I said to Alex, did he bring it up or did I bring it up? Because we were talking about getting new sheets. I love that comforter. I love so much. We might need to get like another one in a different color or something, so that when we clean them, we can just put the new one on. But he said, I was thinking about getting some new sheets, and I said, do you want to get another pair of sheets? Because I really liked that brand of jersey sheets I got. And that's what I meant. And he was like, yeah, do you want to get flannel? And I go, flannel? And he was like, I haven't had flannel sheets in forever, but I like flannel looking sheets that are jersey, you know? And he was like, yeah, you know, and because I had said to him, I said to him like a month or two ago, like, could we get some flannel sheets? So I like how they look, and I think they're cute and masculine and stuff. And he was like, yeah, he was like, we can get some flannel sheets. And then the other day he like mentioned it. He was like, are we gonna get the flannel sheets? And I was like, well, we can. I can't believe that, like, I don't know what just made me think of this, that like every day of my dad's life, like he's been up for like 2 hours already. Like I know if I went to my dad's house right now, like he would have like read the newspaper, had like his first 2 cups of coffee for the day, and be like completely showered and dressed for the day, even on a Saturday. My dad was never like the type that, like, when he went into work, my dad is a super sharp dresser. And when I was a kid, he like went to Chicago and he got his suits from this store called Mark Shale in Chicago. And my dad always wore the coolest suits. Like, in the winter, I just remember he had the most beautiful suits, and they were like, you know, all these tweeds and, you know, and then he would have just really pretty ties, and he always just looked like a college professor, you know, at Yale or something like that. And he wears little round rim glasses and stuff. And so anyway, my dad, my dad loves clothes, and he's just, but like those kind of clothes, you know, he's just a sharp dresser. But you know how like some people, like I can remember like when I was talking to Caroline, my cousin Caroline, about her dad, my Uncle Dave, and she would say, you know, Dad every day, no matter what, gets up and he puts on like khakis and like a button-down collared shirt, you know? Well, that is not my dad. That is not my dad. My dad is very much, like he gets up every day and takes a shower. He like gets up, reads the paper. My dad reads like every day, like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, every single day. And drinks his coffee, and then probably reads some other book. My dad's always reading some obscure book about something that you would never, he goes to the bookstore and he buys like, he only reads nonfiction, and he buys like, you know, 5 or 10 books on topics that you have never heard of before about things. I mean, he just reads everything random. So when we go and see him, he's always telling us about, you know, something completely random about like this religious organization, you know, in this island that nobody's ever heard of. Not religious organization, but religious group or whatever, you know, or it'll be about a certain way to like, you know, make tea, or some animal that's extinct or something. He's always reading about all these like just really random things. But anyway, but like on the weekends, my dad would get up, you know, and he would, showered and ready, but he would always just like in the summer, you know, put on like shorts and a t-shirt. My dad always, so this idea of me collecting t-shirts wherever I go, my dad did it. And it wasn't so much like a thing that he collected. I wouldn't say that he collected them. He just always bought t-shirts wherever he went. So like, you know, my entire childhood was filled with my dad. My dad has worn Patagonia since I can remember. And he always would wear these like grayish or khaki Patagonia shorts that were kind of like mid-thigh, but they were like sailor shorts, because, you know, my dad always was on a boat, and because he had his own sailboat, and then he just was always on sailboats. He did like a lot of like medical missionary work on sailboats and stuff like that. So then he would have a t-shirt on top of it that would say like Honduras, or, you know, St. Thomas or something, you know. He had all these t-shirts, mostly from like the Caribbean, that he would wear, and that he would get grabbed in the airport or whatever, or some bar that, you know, like restaurant, like in these places. My dad was like such a cool guy. He, and you know, he was single for a long time too, and he really enjoyed, I think, being single. And I mean, he enjoys being with my stepmom, but I think the time that he was single, he enjoyed it, because every winter, it would scare my mom to death. This was after they were separated, but he would go to Banff, Alberta, Canada. I think that's correct. And he would hike in the Canadian Rockies by himself. I have several t-shirts from when I was a kid that said Banff on them, and he did too. But he would hike there when he was a kid, or when I was a kid, by himself. He would go up there for like 2 or 3 weeks. He actually dated this girl for a while that he met up there, and she was from New Zealand, and she was like one of the editors on the movie The Man from Snowy River. But anyway, she was like a world traveler. That was before like people just had like a backpack and traveled, I remember. He was so excited. She came to like visit. She stayed for an extended period of time, and we like watched that movie, which I don't think I ever really understood. But anyway, and at the very end, her name was in the credits. But my dad, that was when he did a lot of traveling like that. That's when he did like a lot of the medical work, like in Honduras and places like that. My mom would be like, I can't believe that he's taking all these risks. That was when he went to the US Open. So, okay. My dad, so I come from a big tennis family. Like, my family loves tennis. So my dad went to the US Open one year, but he wanted to get like courtside. So he made up these, he bought a huge, my dad loves cameras, he always has. And so he had just bought this brand new Nikon camera, I think it was. And he had this like huge, what do you call it? Like neck thing. It was like this big, you know? And it was like one of these, it was like, this is in the 70s. This was like 78, right? And it was like, it looked like a camera strap, but that was like woven, like hippie woven, you know what I mean? It was very artsy and colorful. And he like grew a beard out so that he looked like just some like random photographer that was like, you know, and then he had these like jean cutoff shorts on, and like he has pictures of himself at his house, like, okay, and like these huge tube socks pulled up, and then he had on like just some t-shirt that said like St. Thomas or something on it, and he went with this huge camera, and he literally, I mean, this is back in the day, like today you couldn't do it probably, you know, but he made this like I can't, like Sports Illustrated or something like that. He made a press pass and laminated it. He laminated it and everything, and he went there and got courtside and literally got pictures of these guys courtside and at the US Open in New York City, and has pictures of him like, you know, down on one like, you know, knee like this, like taking pictures and stuff that people took of him. That's so funny that my dad did that. My dad is somebody that is like totally unafraid. Like he is unafraid and really, and we talk a lot about this word unbothered. Like he is really unbothered. Like it's funny how it has changed for him though over time. Like when I was younger, you know, like he would get really incensed is not really the word, but like, you know, if you told him something, he would get kind of heated about it. Not really heated, but like, okay, this isn't okay, and blah, blah, blah. He just isn't like that today. Like, if you tell him something, you know, he's just like, he just kind of laughs, you know, he's like, okay, you know, like, he just doesn't give things any time or energy that he doesn't care about, if that makes sense. Like, he loves his dog, he loves my stepmom, he loves me, he loves Alex, he loves the house, he loves being on the water, he loves his work. Other than that, he loves to read, he loves to travel. Other than that, he doesn't pay it a whole lot of attention. He just doesn't, you know? My jaw is hurting, I don't know why. Boo Radley is always the last dog to wake up, usually. Well, Pee-Pee has been the last couple days, but Boo Radley usually is. And Tucker's always the first one to wake up. But tonight, Boo Radley, I had to wake him up to take them outside. And Boo Radley was crying while he was dreaming. He was like, you know, running in his sleep. And he was like, Well, it was so cute. What do you think dogs dream of? You think they just dream of like running outside or chasing birds or eating snacks? Or when you think about the fact that like our dogs or cats or pets or whatever, they know us, and they kind of recognize probably some people on the street or friends that, or family that we have that come by, and that's the limitation of their world, you know? Although, like, as much as dogs seem to understand, I really think they understand a lot more than we give them credit for. I also think that dogs watch TV. I don't think they understand it, but I think they actually can see images. Like, I was reading something, and it said a long time ago, and it said that dogs can't see, like, the images that are on a TV. And then I read something recently. Is that a new strip mall? What is that? What is that? Oh, I've got to go see what this is. Is this a Tide Cleaners drive-thru? What is that? I want to go there. I might have to try that for my review channel. But, then I read something recently, and it said that dogs do know what is, this is like a brand new thing. It's kind of back here, kind of hard to get to though, that they do know, like when they're watching TV, what they're seeing. Which is funny because like our dogs watch TV. Boo Radley has no clue what's on that TV. But PB kind of watches it and he kind of goes like this and watches it, you know? Tide cleaners. I don't get it. Drive-through entrance. Do you think it's like you drop your clothes off? It's gotta be. I'm gonna look it up because I wanna know. I wanna know if she really loves me. Oh my God, they're everywhere. Dry cleaning and laundry. Wash and fold. Tide Cleaners planning to open 5 indie area franchises. Why can't I get to the article? I don't want to leave a comment. It says you must be logged in to leave a comment. I don't care to be I don't care. I just want to read the article. What's the problem? Tide Cleaners provides personalized washing, folding, dry cleaning, and alterations. The future of laundry care, brought to you by America's #1 trusted brand. What are people going back to all of that? Like, oh, there's a little dog park in there. How cute is that by that apartment complex? But I will tell you what's funny is, it seems like it was so long ago that we didn't have a washer and dryer. Do you remember that period of time that we didn't have a washer and dryer? And we had to go to the laundromat, which I quite frankly loved going to the laundromat. Nowadays, it seems like, well, I don't right now, because our washer and dryer is so fast that like, I put a load of wash in and then I get it done and then that's it. But it seems like I do a load of wash like every single day. I do something. Whether it's towels and linens. Actually, I need to do towels. We have so many towels though. We don't have so many towels to clean. We have so many towels, period. So like we clean them and then we put them, you know, away. And then we have more towels that we bring out. Because we always buy towels. It seems like whenever there's like a sale like on nice towels, like, well, Alex is good about that, about buying towels. I usually buy like the bedding and he buys towels. So yeah. But I used to like always, like once we got the washer and dryer, I would always have something in the washer or the dryer and, you know, be like running it. I don't so much. I wonder if that place is open, that Rise place. It's interesting to me that a lot of these like brunch places are not open at 5 till 7 on Saturday morning. I'm really kind of surprised by that. I think Patachou's open by now. It's at the end and I didn't know it. I said this was going to be short, and look, it ended up being long. I'm awake now. I don't think that I'm going to be able to go back to bed, which is fine, because then I can just make my videos for the day that I want to make and stuff. But, part of the problem is I don't know what I'm going to make my videos about just yet. Well, I could drive around and listen to my audiobook. God knows I need to do that, so. What is with all this crazy construction? Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now and just make this a little bit shorter, and I'll try to vlog longer tomorrow, you guys. Oh my God, this huge detour. What does it say? I'm gonna go this way because I don't know how to go that way around. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now and listen to, I guess, my audiobook. I want to get a Dr. Pepper. And I've got to go. Oh, I've got to buy Carlitos' birthday present. I still have to go do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the Meijer and do that. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Enjoy your day. Make the most of it. Do something today. Are you kidding me? This road is closed too. I feel like I'm stuck in a Twilight Zone. Anyway, do something today. Road closed to through traffic. Do something today that that you're gonna look back on and be proud of, or happy that you did. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. And make sure that you look in yourself in the mirror. Back up. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important. Important. And you allow yourself to know your own self-value and your own self-worth. You gotta start telling ourselves that on a daily basis. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know that they are important to you. Live your life with compassion, love, and kindness. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!